Well, welcome to a special edition of Te Akau TV. I'm joined by Te Akau assistant trainer Sam Burgesson in this lead up to a special day tomorrow, I guess, at your proverbial home of racing at Matamata, Sam.
Yeah, it looks like a big day, big team of runners, and normally they get a good crowd out, so looking forward to it.
A few concerns about the weather. I just had a look at 2:11 p.m. on Thursday. Sorry, where are we? Thursday afternoon. We are Thursday, and we're currently coming up a heavy 9 with some possible showers forecast this afternoon.
Yeah, look, we just had a big downpour here and quite a bit of rain overnight, which wasn't expected. So, yeah, it's hard to know whether it's going to dry out between now and race time. We're hoping so. So, look, yeah, there'll be a query on a few runners on the track.
Great. Well, we'll better rip into it. We've got 38 runners to get through. And as Sam mentioned, keep an eye out on the scratchings because a couple could come out if this impending weather does come out as well. So we're going to kick off there in race 1, the Matamata Function Centre, 1600. Just the one in here, Maiden, drawn barrier 1 with Michael McNabb on board.
Yeah, she's had a couple of trials this time in, kicking off straight at the mile. On her debut, she's a nice sort of big staying mare. So she'll probably improve with the run and the experience, probably look for her next time and even over a bit more of a trip as well.
Great. And race 2, Fashion in the Field, 25th of February, 1600 metre maiden race. Another one race with one runner, Safira, drawn barrier 9 with Michael McNabb on board.
Yeah, she ran into a wet track last time at Rotorua, and then the start before at Rotorua was just a bit unlucky, sort of got trapped away and got out a bit too late. Yeah, she's a nice, consistent mare. We're hoping she goes a nice race in this and then can kick on to the Royal Stakes on New Year's Day. So, look, she should be running a nice race, but hopefully the track improves a little bit.
Good as gold. Race 3, the J-Swap contract is limited 1400. Elegant Lady, John Barrier 12 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, another one kicking off her race day experience. So she's had a few trials this time in, which have been okay without being outstanding. Up to 1400 should suit, but yeah, she'll benefit from the experience.
Like a Star, currently 5th on the ballot, could come in with rain.
Yeah, if there's a few scratchings, I think Mark's pretty keen to start her. So her couple of trials will be okay. She's a bit disappointing last time in, so she probably needs to show something this time.
Cool. Race 4, the Comag Limited 1400, another maiden race. 3 here, Sternland, Varuni, and Like a Star on the ballot again.
Yeah, Sternland, she was unlikely from the barrier, but now with the heavy track and she should come in a bit with scratching. So look, Opie on as well, and she ran nicely at Rotorua, just put on quite a testing track, so she could run maybe, and she should probably be a nice chance. And Varuni finally kicking off, she'll definitely benefit from the experience. Another one, and 1400 should suit. Probably a bit of a sticky draw, but Hakeem will probably head back and get a bit of cover and hopefully look for her to be running on.
Great. Race 5, the Happy High 1200, maiden 3-year-old, 7 here. Merlotti, needless to say, Aqueous, Can't Catch Me, Zoom, Puzzle Solved, and 2 classes.
Yeah, Merlotti, I'll start off with him. It's been good to finally get him to the races. He's had a few issues, and he's quite a highly strung horse, but he seems to have really turned the corner since his last trial, which was really good. We were pleased with him. His work's been good since. Needless to say, he's doubtful from the draw. I think there's plenty of racing coming up, so I'm not sure Mark's too keen to run him, but we'll just see how we go there. Accuse, she's got a bit of an awkward gait, and I'd say she'll be doubtful if it's very heavy. But she's really nice. She trialled really nicely last time, I think, at Avondale. Can't Catch Me, another coming off a nice trial at Avondale. Nice soft draw, and her work's been good, so I think she'll run. Zoom, she's had a couple of trials after a long layoff. She had a bit of a wind issue there. Didn't get much of a run in the trial last time, but Michael McNabb was really happy with her and said we should press on to the races. So, yes, sort of a bit of watch and see with her. Puzzle Solved, she gets the blinkers on for race day first up, and her work's been really good with them on. So she could be a sneaky. Who else we got? 2 Classy. She was really impressive at the Avondale trials. By Puccini, she looks like a nice sort of staying filly. This is obviously 1200, so she'll improve as she goes up in trip, she's got a nomination for the Oaks. But look, her trial was really impressive, so she could run a race.
And race 6, the Cunningham Decorating Services 1200. We have got another 7 here. Camesaw Concord, Freeze Frame, Primo Vino, Pucatero, Ferriato, Red Shells, and Star in the Sky.
Camesaw Concord, he's sort of a bit like Melotti. He's a bit mentally fragile and he's a bit of a handful at home, but since his trial, he's actually sort of turned the corner a little bit. I think he's going to run, but there is plenty of racing coming up, sort of Rotorua Taupo next week, so he might be one that we hold off. Freeze Frame, he's had plenty of trials to prepare, and his last one at Waipawa was, a big improvement. We quite like him here at home. He's, shows plenty on the training tracks, so look, he could run a race. Primo Vino, his trials have only been okay. Sort of a watch and see with him. Blinkers go on. So hope he sharpened them up. Pucatero, she was really nice at Evandale. Really impressive. She's only had the one trial, so whether she lacks the ring craft, we're not really sure. But look, she's a really nice filly, and we hold her in high regard. So she should run a nice race. I'm not sure on the track conditions. I just have to check with Mark on that. But I think we'll look to kick her off. Ferriato, look for her over further. She's by Amanzoa. She tried quite nicely last time, but she sort of will be an improver from the experience, we think. Red she is. She'll improve with the run. She's carrying a lot of condition, but it's a nice race to sort of kick her off in home track. She's had plenty of trials, so she should be should have the ring craft. And Star in the Sky, we probably need to improve from her trials as well, but the blinkers go on. So hopefully she can run a cheeky race.
Good job. Do you need a drink of water or a breath?
Yeah, there's a few to get through.
All right, race 7, the Donaghy's 1050 Maiden, another bunch of runners, Espionage, Bello, Mayo, Cocoa Express, Insatiable, Prince Lonro, Sans Doute, Russian Rosette, and Rightly So.
Espionage, he's probably unlikely from that barrier, but he does go well at Matamata if he does run. Bellamio, he ran well on debut here. He's won a trial since. He's sort of a bit of a thinker at home, but he's definitely a talented horse. If he got it all right, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in it. Cocoa Express, he's won 3 trials, so he should be forward enough. The sort of the 1050 sort of suits him. We think he's quite a sort of short, sharp horse. So it looks a nice race. Bit of a sticky gate. Insatiable, unlikely from the barrier. I think he's penciled in for Rotorua and Taupo, so probably watch him there. Prince Lonro, 3 trials for 4 wins, so he's been pretty impressive. He's sort of an unassuming horse. He doesn't really show a lot on the training tracks, but he's been super impressive in his trials, and Opie was wrapped with him last time at the trials, so like he looks like a nice sort of each way chance. Who else we got? Sans Duke. She had a pretty impressive prep last time, sort of second in the Gold Trail, and was, still quite unlucky to still be a maidener. I'm not sure she's going to run from the barrier, but we'll just have to wait and see with her. But she does handle wet ground, so she could be a possible. Russian Rosette, she was a nice trial winner. I think it was back in May at Te Rapa on sort of heavyish ground. But she's not overly big, but she's sort of a tough filly. She could run a nice race. And who else? Rightly So. She's probably an unlikely starter from the barrier, but shows us enough at home. She could run a cheeky race. Great.
Race 8, just one runner here. Let's give you a chance to catch up. Mimico, 2,000 metres. This is a touted Derby horse, Savoir Faire, drawn barrier 5 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, this looks like a really sort of nice race for him. Grillsy said after the Trevor Eagle that to go up and trip, he sort of just couldn't quicken with those really sort of sharper miler sort of horses. Obviously a big drop back in grade from a listed to a maiden 2000 midweek. He looks really nicely placed, and his work since has been really good.
And race 9, the Ancroft Stud, 2,000 metres, rating 65 benchmark, 2 runners, Fierce Flight and Aquila.
Yeah, Fierce Flight and sort of needed the run last time at Tauranga. He was an age between runs. And he just keeps striking wet tracks, but we had to run him to sort of get his fitness right for tomorrow. Look, it looked a really nice race for him. but now with the wet ground, it sort of trips him up a little bit. So we'll see how we go there. But if the track was to improve, he looks like a really nice chance back up to 2,000. Aquilo, he's sort of drawn the outside, but I think Mark's pretty keen to run. He'd need the track to improve as well, though.
Right. Good as gold. And then moving down to race 10, the Noble Lee 1600, rating 75 benchmark. We've got Supreme Khan, Pin Me Up, the Mighty Spa, and that's the runners in that race.
Supreme Khan last start winner, and still stays in the grade. We'll obviously have to claim with him because he's got a bit of weight. It actually looks like quite a strong sort of midweek 75 mile, but he deserves his chance. He looks like a sort of a nice each way bet. Pin Me Up, sort of forget her run at Te Rapa. She got the downpour just before her race, and it sort of really opened the track up, and she was no good in the ground. Up to a mile suit and OP on, she looks like a really nice chance. And the Mighty Spa, he's got a bit of a niggly draw, but I think we're pretty keen to run him. He was obviously over the hurdles towards the end of last year, I think it was. And he could show some cheek, and sometimes the hurdling sort of sharpens them up a bit. And he's not the worst on the flat, so he could run a cheeky race.
Great. And race 11, the Matamata Veterinary Services 1400. It's a rating 65 benchmark. We've got a Vondelay drawn barrier 14 with Opie Boston on board.
Yeah, she'll probably improve with the run, and she wants a bit further, but her work's good, and her trial was really good at Waipa.
And race 12, the Bell and Graham 1400. We've got Florence Nightingale and Bubbles Await. Both of these horses have won a start pretty impressively as well.
Yeah, Bubbles Await was really impressive here when he won his maiden, but it's sort of been a bit disappointing since. His trials were only fair, so the blinkers go on. We think he might need maybe a bit more ground, so sort of just watch him. And Florence Nightingale was really good at Rotorua, and the Te Rapa track just tipped her up when she got the rain as well. So, look, Florence Nightingale will probably want the track to improve, whereas Bubbles Await wouldn't mind the wet. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the track does.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that, Sam. It's a good effort to get through all those, and it shows you how well you know each of the horses in the barn there as well. So kudos to you for that as well. And just quickly before we go, I've just had an amendment there for the Boxing Day preview of one that we've missed there in race 1, the Dunson Feed Stayers Championship Qualifier 2200, and that's She's Outrageous, drawn barrier 5 with Craig Zaki there at Pupco Park. Yeah,
she looks like a really nice sort of staying mare. She sort of just got trapped on the inside last time at Te Rapa with Palmer on. She's sort of out of grade. It's a 75, and she's only a one-win horse, but it's not an overly strong field. And we think she's quite a nice stayer going forward. And if she won that, she'd qualify for the New Year's Day race as well. So, look, she definitely deserves a chance and looks like a nice sort of each-way bet.
Great. Thanks, Sam. Well, I guess everyone's waiting for their early Christmas present, and you've got a number of runners to choose from. You are currently 9 from 10 with your tipping, which is quite phenomenal. What can you give us there at Matamata tomorrow?
Yeah. I think I'll have to go Savoir Faire in the Maiden 2000. I think he'll get through the wet if it does get too wet. And I think he's quite a nice horse and he's nicely placed. So, look, he looks like a really nice chance.
There you go. Sam's Christmas present to you all there. And Sam, what do you got planned for Christmas Day? Are you heading down to the family there in the Central Districts, and you'll be looking after the horses that arrive there at Otaki?
Yep. So, heading down back to Palmy for Christmas where my parents live. And we've got runners at Otaki. So, the horses stay in Palmy at Dad's barn, so it's pretty ideal. Works out quite well. But, really looking forward to Christmas, and then plenty of racing coming up, so we'll be busy.
Well, Merry Christmas to you as well, and thanks for all the hard work and joining us regularly here on Te Akau TV. A big thank you to you, and have a good Christmas with the family there, Sam, and we'll catch you again hopefully before New Year's Day. Yeah, compliments of the season to you and everyone out there, Hazy. I hope you all have a safe and happy Christmas, and all the best over the holidays. Good as gold. Take care.